Hello beautiful humans, I'm RidersDX and welcome to another episode of Riders Replay, where today we've got a very chill but not so chill discussion at the same time here. So first of all, before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video and also the other videos I put out this weekend. It's been a blast, just working on this stuff, and I'm looking forward to a very fun 2024. We got lots of content coming up, so be here or be square. Which wouldn't be such a bad thing. I mean, Spongebob is square, so being square is great. But today, what I want to talk about is a game I did not have on my bingo card for 2024, and that is Epic Mickey Rebrushed. And so, if you've been kind of living under a rock, then you may not know that Nintendo had a partner direct showcase, I think this past week. And in this showcase, what I would argue is one of the most major announcements of the show was the announcement of Epic Mickey Rebrushed, which is a complete made from the ground up remake of the original Wii classic. What we're gonna do today is basically talk about everything there is to talk about Epic Mickey Rebrushed so far. So we're gonna talk about all the details we do know about that are confirmed by official sources. We're gonna talk about other details that are not official and came from other means. But may or may not be true, I guess. And then we're going to talk about the implications I think this is going to have on not just future Disney games, but SpongeBob games. And we'll get to that connection really soon. I think that this is such an exciting remake to see come in particular, especially given the people that are behind it, which I'll get to, don't worry. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So I've got 10 general but major facts about this game that we know right off the bat. So let's go ahead and dive into what they are. Number one, I've already teased this like 2 times, so let me just get out of the way before we go anywhere else. But this game is being brought to us by THQ Nordic. And as you all know, that is a favorite term on this channel because THQ Nordic is responsible for bringing back classic titles, iconic titles, Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrate, and of course Cosmic Shake. But what's even more crazy is that this game is being developed by Purple Lamp Studios. So the studio that brought us those games directly is gonna be bringing us Epic Mickey Rebrushed, and this just has a bunch of crazy implications that I'm gonna talk about more at the end. And number 2, not only is Purple Lamp Studios developing this remake, but they're actually getting some assistance from the original director of Epic Mickey, his name being Warren Spector. This quote came courtesy of Warren Spector in the official press release for Epic Mickey Rebrushed. I've received more heartfelt fan mail from players of all ages about Disney Epic Mickey than any other project I've worked on. A true indicator of the timelessness of this game. That my team and I contributed to that legacy is truly an honor, and I'm delighted that old fans and new will get to enjoy the adventures of Mickey and Oswald in Wasteland once again. This is pretty awesome in particular because I don't think the original people from Heavy Iron Studios were involved in Rehydrated, so this is definitely a very promising step that the original director of Epic Mickey is heavily involved in this game from what it looks like. To what capacity, we don't really know yet, but the fact that he provided a quote for this game is very promising. And number 3, this is an official description coming from the official website and the Steam page, so here's what it has to say. This faithful remake sends Mickey Mouse on an epic journey through Wasteland, a realm of forgotten Disney characters. As Mickey, you'll dive into a fantastical world and armed with paint and thinner, shape your adventure in the fate of this alternate world. Help Wasteland with Mickey's magic brush. Use paint to restore beauty and harmony, or thinner to alter your environment and uncover hidden secrets. Your choices influence Mickey's destiny and change the outcome of this artistic odyssey. Will you become the epic hero Wasteland needs? Encounter various classic characters like Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Yen Sid, Pete, and more as you travel between lands in Wasteland. Collect virtual Disney pins, tackle creative challenges, and uncover secrets, all while exploring classic platforming levels inspired by animated films and shorts. Number 4, so this game is coming out on every single platform you can think of. So it's coming on PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, and of course on PC. Steam specifically, but there may be other platforms in the future, we'll have to see. I will say, given the fact that both Rehydrated and Cosmic Shake came on the mobile phone, I would assume that this game is probably going to get released on a mobile phone too eventually. And number 5, we don't have a release date for this game, which is very typical for these initial announcements if we remember what happened with Rehydrated and Cosmic Shake, but this game is confirmed to be coming in 2024, so it is coming out this year. So we're already 2 months down, we got 10 months to go. It is also worth noting though that this Nintendo Direct was focused on games coming out in the beginning half of the year for the most part. I mean, this game might be the exception, but there's also a very heavy chance that this game will come out in the next few months or so, so get excited. And number 6, so as you all know, this is a remake, and so this being a remake, there's a lot of opportunities to improve upon the original and add some new things, and this game already has to confirm new additions coming coming to it. Mickey has new moves apparently, such as the dash, ground pound, and sprinting. So a lot of things that will kind of increase his arsenal and improve his mobility. So we're excited for that. Also, I've not played the original game, just so you all know, and I'll kind of get more into that at the end of the video. But THQ Nordic actually commented on someone's question, I guess, in the official announcement trailer, and they said yes, the camera is one of the many things that's being worked on. So I'm assuming the camera was a very pesky antagonist in the original game, but it looks like Purple Lamp Studios is very aware of that, and they're going to make changes to adjust for that. So we can look forward to a better camera, which is always a plus when it comes to a 3D platformer. I gotta say, man, 3D platformers are just camera poison. At number 7, when this got announced during Nintendo Direct, we also got to see gameplay footage of the Switch version over here. And so as you can see for this gameplay footage, it does look extremely faithful to the original game. Although I will say, I don't think the frame rate looks pretty good here in particular. So I'm hoping that there will be some improvement with that with time, but it may also be a locked like 30 or 25 FPS game on the Switch, which while disappointing would not be a surprise. But hey, we got like a PC version, we got like a PS5 version. So, I mean, we can make this game look really good if we want to. And number 8, we did get some screenshots released officially with this game's announcement, which is nice because I think when we got both Cosmic Shake and Rehydrated, I don't think we got screenshots when it first got announced. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I think Cosmic Shake did have screenshots, but it was only screenshots of the CGI trailer. So the fact that we already have screenshots of the in-game stuff is very promising here. It means that the game is probably going to come a lot sooner than we think. And number 9, I saw a lot of discussion about this in the Discord server for this game in particular, but pricing info is officially not released yet. So there are some websites out there putting this game up for pre-order, and it's putting it up with a $60 price tag. But someone in the THQ Nordic server, I forgot who it was, unfortunately, but someone has confirmed that this is not the official price yet, and that THQ will formally announce the pricing and the release date when the time comes. So don't freak out about the $60 price tag, because that definitely would warrant some complaining if it was $60. I'm sorry. Like, unless there's way more to this game than they've already told us there is not a $60 game. Number 10, I almost missed this before I made this video, but if you go on the official website, it says that you can order the standard edition here. So that means there's probably going to be a special edition for this game coming out. And if we're gonna judge this based off of like what we did with Rehydrate and Cosmic Shake, both of those games did have a collector's edition that was usually like a couple $100 that came with like statues and stickers and a lot of other bonus material. So we may see something similar for that with Epic Mickey Rebrushed, and I'm very curious to see what that could be. Okay folks, so now we're gonna get into a bit of the black market section of this video. So apparently there has been a leak of this game shortly after it got announced, and here's what I'm gonna say. You know, I do have a relationship with THQ Nordic. They have done a lot of great stuff with this channel in the past. I'm really appreciative of, so I am in no way going to post any leaks here. It's not going to happen. it isn't gonna happen. If you're chronically on the internet enough, then you'll be able to find the leaks, is all I'm gonna say. It was not that difficult to find. But I will say though that this being a video where we talk about everything we know about Epic Mickey so far, I feel like it would kind of be silly not to at least touch upon what we learned about here. So if you don't want to hear anything about this leak, then head to this timestamp. I have no clue what the timestamp is going to be currently, but I'll know once I'm editing it, obviously. But okay, leak talk. So this is all alleged information, so none of this is 100% confirmed. Someone could be playing the biggest trick on us for all we know, so take this all with a grain of salt. We're gonna find out soon enough either way. A lot of this info apparently comes from a beta version of this game, so since it's an older version of a game, there's also a high chance that a lot of this stuff has been changed for the final product. With that being said, there was a lot of info uncovered from these leaks, so I thought some of it was very interesting, so I wanted to talk about it really quickly. There was some footage that leaked of the game and was posted all over Twitter, and the footage shows off Mickey in like a test environment, but it does also showcase a lot of the new moves that they made for Mickey, like the dash and the ground pound. And I mean, they look really fluid, they look really solid. Not much to comment on it for me. I haven't played the original game, so I unfortunately can't really pick up a lot of the differences that happen here, but there are some like graphical like improvements here and there and such, at least with the HUD and all that. So there's also some other things shown off in this footage, like a level select screen, which is pretty awesome. I heard that the original game did not have a level select option, so that's definitely great if that's the case. Then there's also potential for costumes, as there is one costume unlocked in the build of this game that they're playing right now, which is just a regular Mickey costume. But there's spaces for other costumes for Mickey to wear spread out here. Then I have no idea if this is true or not, to be honest, but there's also this alleged Discord post I saw that allegedly came from the server that these leaks came from. And so this Discord post also shows off some more information that I'm very intrigued by. So the first thing they listed here is that this game is targeting a Q2 2024 release, April being the most likely, which would fall in line with the theory that like this Nintendo Direct was focused mostly on games coming out in the first half of the year. Now, at first I was a little bit unsure about this date because Rehydrate and Cosmic Shake, I remember the long arduous waits from when those games were announced to when the game finally got released. So I was like, this game is not going to come out for a while, I'm telling you all right now. But the difference between Cosmic Shake and Rehydrated versus Epic Mickey Rebrushed is that those games did not give us like in-game footage when they first got announced. Epic Mickey Rebrushed, however, does. So it just tells me that this game is further along than those games were when they were announced, which might be a change that they're making at Purple Lamp Studios, because I feel like maybe THQ Nordic noticed how like long and torturous the waits were for announcing the game so early. So I wonder if they're realizing that like, hey, maybe we should wait to announce these games, and then that way that the hype can be at its maximal point when the game comes out for the first time. So that might be what they're trying to do with Epic Mickey Rebrushed. There's also the fact that this game is a remake, and so it's not like it's Cosmic Shake where it needs like a good amount of time to make because it's an original title. They've already got all the assets and all the levels and blah 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 from the original game, so all they have to do is just remake it. Currently, there are no remakes for the sequel or Power Evolution planned at this time, but impressive sales of this remake could lead to more Epic Mickey content, which is basically the same thing that we heard for Rehydrated. And well, you guys saw that because of Rehydrated's success, we got Cosmic Shake. So I'm sure if Epic Mickey does get successful, then we probably will see some kind of Epic Mickey project in the future, whether it be another remake or a brand new game. And I think a brand new game would be really exciting in particular, so I would love to see that. There's going to be a photo mode in Epic Mickey, which is no surprise at all. I think anyone could have guessed that. This is very reminiscent of Rehydrated, but there'll be no full voice acting. Grunts from the original game will be upscaled and reused. So they're not going to add any new voice acting for this game. It's just going to be the same audio clips from the original. So a lot of parallels here. No motion or touch controls will be found here. And I don't know what the motion controls are like in the original Epic Mickey, but considering the fact that this game is coming out on all these different platforms that don't have motion controls, I kind of feel like if they had to pick and choose which things to bring back, I'm glad that they left off the motion controls personally. Even if I was given the option, I definitely was not going to play this game with motion controls. Let's just be real here. So fine by me. This is also really reminiscent of Rehydrated. I'm honestly getting flashbacks here. Scrapped areas such as Wonderland will not be returning here. So I'm assuming that's like some kind of area that was shown like concept art or something that people were like wondering if they were going to come back because of this remake, but like Rehydrated did not include any cut content, so I'm assuming the same case can be said for Epic Mickey Rebrushed, and it looks like they're saying the same thing here. So I mean, Rehydrated did technically include the cut content, but it was in a way that it might as well not have been included at all. I must just say it. This game is being built on Unreal Engine 4, which is the exact same as both Rehydrated and Cosmic Shake, I believe. And the last point is on cutscenes. So the 2D cutscenes will be reused from the original, but the 3D cutscenes will be remade in a similar fashion to the trailer that we saw. So we can get more CGI action like that, then I'm a happy camper. That is the end of all the leaks that I found personally. I would not be surprised if there's more leaks out there, but I didn't want to dive too deeply into that because again, it's all alleged. We don't know for sure this is all true, but I did think it was interesting information nonetheless, so I wanted to include it. Now that we're done talking about the facts about the game, let's talk about the implications of this game's announcement and what this could mean for the future. First of all, you know, just like any other remake, if you have a remake of a certain game, then that means there may be more remakes or more games of that nature in the future. This very well could mean if Epic Mickey is successful, then we may see like another Epic Mickey game, for instance. I know that there's a second game and also a DS game, so we could see those two games come back in the future as well if this game is successful enough. I'm not sure what the reception of Epic Mickey 2 was, but I did not hear about that game as much as the first Epic Mickey, so I'm assuming it wasn't as popular. But I did read somewhere that this could also be a potential like sign for like other Disney games coming back. And so Disney Infinity, for instance, that was a pretty popular franchise from what I remember. I mean, it would be kind of difficult with the whole amiibo system, but that's something that could could potentially come back as well. So this could definitely open the door for other Disney games. I think the only prominent Disney games that I've heard about in recent years is Kingdom Hearts, obviously, which is kind of not really a Disney game, but it also is, you know, it's one of those weird titles. There's also Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is an amazing title in my opinion. It is their version of Animal Crossing and it is just as addictive, let me tell you. So I've been on exile from that game for months because when I played that game, I lost my life. My life was gone. So I need to have my life, obviously. There's also that Disney racing game, but I don't remember the name of it. So there's certainly room for more Disney content in terms of video games, and Epic Mickey could very well be a jumping point for that. We've seen that happen with SpongeBob, for instance. We had Rehydrated and then out came Cosmic Shake afterwards. Who knows what's coming after that? I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. Diving into SpongeBob now, because you know, I was not going to not talk about SpongeBob during this video. Like that's, you all know me. This is literally why this channel is still here. So we gotta pay our respects and talk about SpongeBob. So yes, this game is being remade by Purple Lamp Studios, who is really starting to develop a reputation for being like the go-to licensed game reviver. So they have Rehydrated under their belt, they had Cosmic Shake, and now they're gonna have Epic Mickey under their belt as well. So it's like Purple Lamp is truly becoming the go-to studio for these kind of games. And if Epic Mickey turns out to be another solid title, then I mean, the door is open in terms of like what else they could remake. Maybe we'll see a Simpsons Hit and Run remake in the future. I know THQ Nordic would jump at the chance to make that if they could. So who knows, honestly. But I will say, it does have me curious in terms of like what we could expect for SpongeBob games. Okay, so at this point, and this is an answer I don't think anyone really wants to hear when it comes to like Nickelodeon and THQ Nordic, but I know THQ Nordic signed that deal, publishing a bunch of like Nickelodeon games, bringing back a bunch of old Nickelodeon titles and stuff all the way back before Rehydrate was even announced. I do not see that happening, quite honestly. So if we really want to dive into it, there is a very good reason Battle Bikini Bottom got the remake treatment. That game is a cult classic. It has a huge fan base behind it. It was going to sell well if they made it, period. That game deserved and definitely made sense as a remake. Can any other Nickelodeon title really justify that same thing? You know, I'm thinking, what's the closest title we could think of? I guess like Nicktoons Unite, you know, that game I'm sure has a lot of like fans of it, but that's a very outdated gameplay style and 3 of the franchises are no longer active. It's a hard sell to remake a game like that. And then there's not a lot of choices beyond that, to be honest. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of classic games from my childhood back then. I love those games, but none of them have the scope or the fame of Battle Bikini Bottom. And so if THQ Nordic actually invested resources in remaking one of those games, it's not going to sell nearly as well as Rehydrated. That's just the reality of it. I will say though, they really should at least consider like a remastered collection or something. Just like a collection, they don't need to touch up the games that much, just like pretty up the games a little bit and just put them in a collection and just like give the fans something. It's something I would think is the most realistic thing that we could at least petition for at this point. But in terms of like other Nickelodeon game remakes, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I think the closest thing we could expect out of that deal still is maybe a SpongeBob movie game remake, and the only reason I say that is because the movie's 25th anniversary is coming up soon, and I do think like a movie game remake could at least potentially do well based off of that, but I don't know. I just don't see it at all. So in terms of remakes, I don't see it anymore. I don't think THQ Nordic is really interested in making any more remakes when it comes to Nickelodeon games, which is upsetting, you know, because like what was the point of that deal? That deal was literally made just for SpongeBob Battle Bikini Bottom. I'm like, did you really have to make that deal and like get people's hopes up for all those other games? Like really? Now they're just gonna sit in limbo for who knows how long afterwards. It's not like anything was gonna happen to those games before, but there's definitely not gonna be anything that happens to those games now. So there we go. Now, this doesn't rule out the fact of new original titles though, which I think THQ Nordic would be much more likely to do at this point. And that's simply from the fact that Cosmic Shake came right after Rehydrated. You know, they didn't go for another remake, they decided to just go for another like original game. Now, the most likely thing I can think of though is a SpongeBob game that's not a platformer. As much as I really want another Battle Bikini Bottom style platformer like Cosmic Shake, I think that Cosmic Shake probably underperformed, and I'm sure the game was still like a good seller all on its own, but if it didn't sell nearly as well Rehydrated, then it kind of tells them that like the market isn't there for another SpongeBob-esque 3D platformer right now. But SpongeBob is a super popular franchise. SpongeBob is not going away anytime soon, so there will always be space for like a SpongeBob game. I just don't think that next game is gonna be a platformer. I think it's gonna be something completely different, you know, something similar to like Crash Team Rumble, for instance. So I'm not saying that that's the kind of game that they're gonna come out with next when it comes to SpongeBob, but I do think we're gonna see something that kind of has has like profits written all over it. I don't know, that's just my current thought right now. I think some kind of multiplayer game is what's most likely for SpongeBob, which would do well because SpongeBob is really popular, guys. It's super popular, and a multiplayer focused SpongeBob game would honestly do pretty well. So that's my current thoughts on it right now. I have no idea what it could be, but I just don't think it's gonna be another platformer. That's just my gut feeling. I think Purple Lamp is gonna continue to work on like other remakes and stuff, but I don't think any of them will be SpongeBob ones. I would love them to surprise me and just give us more SpongeBob content, but I'm also really happy to see Purple Lamp kind of stretch their legs out a little bit and tap into other franchises. It would be a disservice to them to be locked to SpongeBob. It really would. You know, they're a really talented studio. I think they should have a chance to explore other things. I just hope they're not tied to remakes forever. I hope they get chances to work on original games as well, because I can only imagine what an awesome opportunity it was for them to make an original SpongeBob title. That must have been so much fun. So I'm hoping that they still get the opportunity in the future. But all right, y'all, that was basically everything that we know about Epic Mickey Rebrushed so far, and even some bonus SpongeBob stuff at the end, because you know me. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do y'all think of Epic Mickey Rebrushed? Are you excited or not excited for it? Let me know your thoughts. I'm also gonna say that it probably won't be long until we see some more footage of Epic Mickey Rebrushed in the future, because I don't know if y'all realize, but PAX East is coming up at the end of March. And THQ Nordic has traditionally always attended PAX East, and THQ Nordic has also traditionally showed off Purple Lamp Studios games there. So remember, Rehydrated was shown off, and I was one of the first people to break a lot of new details about Rehydrated when it first got play tested there. So could that happen again? Could I find out some stuff about Epic Mickey Rebrushed and show you all immediately? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I have no expectations, but I will love a chance to play this game if it's over there. So I'm really hoping that THQ Nordic does attend PAX East this year. They always announce at the very last minute, but I mean, like, come on. It's too obvious at this point. I haven't played the original Epic Mickey, but it is actually on its way in the mail for me right now. So it's probably gonna come in my mail sometime this week. So I'm gonna play through Epic Mickey. I'm also gonna play through Epic Mickey 2, and I'll probably make a video eventually talk about our thoughts on the entire series. So look forward to that. Let me know if you've ever played the series before and what your thoughts are on it, and let me know what are the topics you would like me to discuss in this kind of setting. So with Riders Replay, we kind of have two types of videos here. We got the video from yesterday, which was the SpongeBob Likes Karen Pants like extravaganza video, much more skit oriented and stuff. Then we got videos like this, which is just kind of like a sit down chat, drink your hot water like kind of vibe here. So let me know your thoughts, and thank you so much. This is Riders, riding out.